Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the Tristcast. I'm your host, Tristan Dario, and I invite you to sit back, relax, catch a vibe, and enjoy the show. Hey y'all, take a moment before you get settled. Follow the Tristcast and leave a rating. Alright, I'll see you in today's episode. Peace. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to this week's episode of the Tristcast. I'm your host, Tristan Dario, and if you're new here, welcome to the community. Welcome to, I'll call this just a group of homies hanging out, I guess. Started today pretty not so good, actually. I've talked about my recent car accident a few times now in the most recent episodes of the Tristcast, and I found out that I have a lot of trauma and I have a lot of scar tissue on my pectorals and on my chest, and it does not feel good at all. But before we get started, we're going to do the thumbnail picture real quick. So we got that now. We're good. And yeah, dude. So I've been having these chest issues for quite a while now. I had a car accident back in 2021 when I visited LA. I was in a T-bone hit, and now I think I'm starting to feel the trauma that I have gained from it. And then in April this year, I had another one. And now, like, from stretching from like to my right shoulder to my left shoulder, and even on my back too, I'm having a lot of scar tissue. And if I were to take my shirt off right now, it would not look good. And that's all I could think about when I got done at the chiropractor is, wow, I'm going to have to keep my shirt on for a little while because it just hit. So the first time I went to the chiropractor, I ended up having to get checked for my area right here, like in my lower right back. And when I got the scar tissue taken care of on that side, I think I just have a lot of scar tissue that I haven't taken care of properly and I haven't stretched out. And so now I have to, every half hour for the first 3 days, I have to get up and do about 15 seconds worth of a stretch, and that will help my muscles, lengthen and get flexible again. But it just has not been easy. Last night I had a lot of pain in the center of my chest and my sternum, and now I have to say it's so much better. There's a lot more relief, and one of my ribs, specifically, like I would say the one that's closest to my collarbone, is popped out a little bit. And for the longest time, I didn't know what that really was. I get a little bit of a pain when like my lungs press up against that muscle. So I might have to go back to the chiropractor again for this specific issue that I have. And it's not fun, because if you know anything about getting tissue done at a chiropractor, you know that when you have trauma that they have to scrape it out. And it just doesn't feel good. And I I consider myself someone with a high pain tolerance. And like when I have a high pain tolerance, it's like I can take in so much more than maybe others can. But this time around, it was a pain that I haven't met in a while, at least. And yeah, so it wasn't easy. It's not easy, but I know that it's going to get better, and I know that I'm going to be okay. But it's just getting my muscles fixed up, getting myself fixed up, getting healthy again. I know that's going to be a little bit hard. And I know doing the podcast, I might go a little bit longer without doing a normal stretch, but I care about my art. I care about creating. I care about doing stuff that I really enjoy. And I know I'm going to be able to put my health first too. But it's not easy, but it's just another thing. And I think it's very important for us to be putting our health first and being able to do these kind of things for ourselves when we need to, listening to our body. Like, I'm noticing that my body needs more of that attention. And I think from this day forward, for the next few weeks, my doctor even told me not to do any workouts because it would probably just put my muscles back into the place that they were. And I thought doing a workout might help not too long ago, but it didn't. And I mean, the chemicals that your body gives off and your brain feels after a workout, that was able to relieve some of the pain. But the second it was gone, I was just back in like this sharp pain. And if I do certain movements, that hurts. Or if I breathe, like, not if I take a breath, like taking a breath doesn't hurt. But when my lungs expand, it presses up against that muscle that I have surrounding my rib cage, and that hurts. And it's only the center, like right there in my sternum. And so I'm trying not to crack it. I'm trying not to. And I also fell off. And this is another thing, fell off a little bit. Someone gifted this to me, and now I'm kind of going in and out of that. I think it's only because I'm going through a little bit of pain. So like, I don't need it, but it is something that my brain is trying to attach to, but I'm trying not to allow it to succeed at that, because I'm trying to gain control over my addictions, even though I know that addictions are stronger than my control, no matter how much I want to try. And every single time I try to control something, I always end up falling out of it because you can't control it. That's how addictions work. And so, that's been on my mind. I have been putting more time into resting and finding the ways that I recharge naturally. And I have found the more, and I feel like I've talked about this before, but writing before was just a journal technique for me. And now I think I want to take something that I've been writing in for a while and I want to turn it into a book. So I've been writing in this Word document for the last year and a half now, and it has became a book. I'm about 122 pages in of writing, and I am excited to finish it and see what I can do with it. My goal is to get to about 198, close to 200 pages. I say that because I just finished reading A Wrinkle in Time, which ended up being a fantastic book. I want to move on to the books that come after it, the sequels to the series, and I want to read those. But the Wrinkle in Time that I read was about 198 pages for a book. So I'm thinking I want to do the same thing. And that's with a introductory, or I think I'm going to add the introductory next, or towards the end. Towards the end, when I finish the book, I'm going to add the introductory page, and I'm very excited. It's my first piece of work that I'm going to be able to put out. I'm 26 years old, and I think this is something that I have been working toward for a while, and it's actually going to become something. And I'm excited to try to get it published. I'm excited to design the book cover, and if I can't design the book cover, I'll ask somebody to help me design a book cover. But I think that's really cool. I've taken a hobby and it's become something that I just added to, and I don't know. I know the title, but I don't want to give it out yet because I want it to be a finished product before I discuss anything more about it. But my book is awesome. It is about personal stories of experiencing life, and you really get an idea of where the brain is. And maybe I'll make a few adjustments to it to make it seem more resonating for other people, but at the same time, it is my brain and it is what I'm thinking about and how I am managing to put it into something. And I want it to be able to be something that people can go to, and they may not ultimately understand each and everything that I've put into it, but It's more of a way to gather another person's point of view and attach it to their own specific view. And maybe, just maybe, it'll connect with you. So, yeah, I'm excited to bring that out into the world for people to see. It is art that I think will grow into something more alongside this. And yeah, dude, that's really cool. It's very exciting for me. I wouldn't have expected to turn it into a book, but because I've been writing into this doc for such a long time now, for about a year and a half, it has become something that I just really appreciate and admire, and I think it's just going to end up working out pretty nicely for everybody. Not only myself. I think it'll be something that other people can actually relate to and resonate with and maybe attach it to their own life or the way that they're going through it. So yeah. But A Wrinkle in Time was fantastic. I really enjoyed reading it. I have said before, I don't usually sit down and read a book. It takes a lot for me to be able to sit down in one place, but I think I'm getting better at it. And that's awesome to me. Oop, got a hiccup. But yeah, and the way that I am learning all these things that I'm going to have to do to put myself and my health first, that's something I've been really thinking about. And with moving coming and what I'm going to have to do to get moved into my own place and then move down to Florida, I decided on something. I decided to go with something that, may not ultimately be the right path, or maybe it is. I'm going to truly believe the direction I'm going is the right place I'm going and I'm on the right path, rather than worrying that I could be doing something else that might bring other occasions. But the whole point is not doing something out of fear. If I do something out of fear, I don't think it's going to be authentic. But because it feels so nice, it feels like I'm supposed to be going to Florida. As much as I feel like I don't want to go or I don't align with it, obviously things are working out because I'm meant to go there. And I had a chance to go to Chicago, but that didn't work out because I had other things going on in my life. And also the same thing with Oregon. I wasn't able to go to Oregon as well because I had other things happening in my life. So I'm really understanding now that I am able to 110% throw myself into what I'm doing, and I shouldn't be afraid of it. I should just go with the flow of it, and I'm going to do that. And now that I'm putting time into hobbies that I really like, and I'm not just sitting around playing video games, I'm watching movies that I really like and that are really inspiring me. There's a show I've been watching called Dark Matter. And I believe the writer is John Crowder or something like that. And I actually really want to read this book now because the show has been so nice, and they use the book to create it in a TV show setting. So I really want to read the book and actually get an idea and picture it in my mind, see if I actually see how they did the TV show and how it connects with the book. That's something I'm very excited for, so I just have to find it. And the show really I'm really in love with the idea of the multiverse and how you have this opportunity if you're smart enough, or like if you're a physicist who figures it out. But it's basically surrounds this creation of the box, which I forget the term, but it's super something. But basically what they have to do is they step inside the box, and inside it's just a normal box. You close the door and you're just in a box. But the second that you hit yourself with a certain chemical that allows your brain to relax so that you can enter into this state of mind, which grants you infinite possibilities of different worlds, which is mind-blowing. And basically it gives you access to all these infinite possibilities of life. And you watch this man who enters through world after world after world to find his family, because another version of himself who chose science and chose his desire to create the box in the beginning, he chose to do that rather than have a family. So then he finds the perfect life, which is this gentleman, this version of himself, basically kidnaps him, sends him to another state, another reality where it's the original. It's freaking twisting. But Jason 2, that's what I'll say. Jason 2 basically goes to Jason 1's life, kidnaps him, puts him in Jason 2's world, and then Jason 2 takes over his world and basically just throws everything into chaos. And then Jason 1 has to cross all these infinite realities to find his original home and to take his life back. And really, the most recent episode is what really twists you up, because you really recognize who Jason 1 is, but then in the recent episode, you don't know if that's who ends up with his family, which is freaking mind-blowing. It's so crazy. It's chaotic. I like it. It's awesome. It's a great idea. And since I've been starting to write more, I'm really recognizing how I have so many dreams, and I question how I can turn them into something. So now I'm going to go into my dream journals. I'm going to go into all my entries, and I'm going to see if I can take my dreams and create stories out of them. Because I have wild stories that I have dreams about. It's like crazy stuff. And I think I just want to figure out how I can rearrange them into a longer story. I mean, if I can do 198 pages of books, I think I can do it. I think I could do very well at that. I mean, I've worked on this for about a year and a half now, and it's at 122 pages out of 198. So I only have about 76 pages left that I got to do, which isn't hard. I've been working on scripts, but I haven't been very inspired to work on a script lately. So it's cool that I can latch into something that I'm longer into, and it is about that goal. It's like if I can complete the goal, if I can make the accomplishment of finishing this one thing, then I can move on to another thing. So maybe I'll get inspired, because I have ideas on how I can move forward with one of my scripts that I've been writing on. I'm about 30 pages into that, and I know surrounding yourself with so many different projects can also be like a self-sabotage thing, because you're only slowing down the work that you're already putting into on something else. So it's like, choose one thing, finish with that, then move on to the next. And then I'll have that sense of accomplishment because I accomplished one thing already. So that sounds, about right up the angle that I'm trying to do. So I'm putting my health first, I'm putting my hobbies first, and I'm making money, and I'm working towards moving. So it would be really cool to have something like a book accomplished and finished before I move, because then if I can find a place to get it published, boom. Which probably takes more work than just that. But hey, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as we go, as we usually do. We're in flow, and we can't control it or force it, because if we force it, it may not end up being what we want it to be. So we got to move patiently and let it just come to us, and then just work with it. But no, yeah, it's dealing with all this scar tissue and stuff like that has been really difficult, because like I'm in some pain right now. I'm going to try to take some ibuprofen and see if that relieves at all, but can't guarantee that it will. It helped a little bit last night, but not too much. But I watched a little bit more of the F1 race that was in Barcelona this past weekend, I believe. And there was some issues on Team Ferrari. And that was wild. But that's really cool. Looking into some go-karts, because you can buy go-karts and stuff like that. So I've been looking at maybe a long-term investment later on in life that I can get, and then I can try to do some like Class C races and see what I can get into that. Do some practicing, try to get better, get skilled. Maybe my brother and I can go out, because my older brother too really, really enjoys racing as well. I think I talked about it before. It's like my father, my older brother, and I really love that adrenaline of racing and going at fast paces. And I do that often in my I don't do it often. I'm not going to lie on here, but I like the idea of doing it in my car, because my car it's a little bit quick to me. I like it. And so I like to go a little bit fast in it, But that's been really cool. I recently have been putting more of my time into thinking about the things that I want to do in the future. And I know that I just got back from a trip to Italy earlier this year. And there's already friends that I've made from that trip that are like, when are you going to do another trip, dude? And I'm like, I'm thinking about going over to Germany for Oktoberfest. That would be really cool. I like beer, and it would be really nice to experience something like that in Munich. They live more towards the eastern side of Europe. I would say, yeah, more toward the eastern side compared to the western side. Um, they're like closer to Amsterdam type situation. And so, because I really would like to see them too, I could either do Oktoberfest or I could go to Amsterdam. And I looked at pricing for Amsterdam, $600 compared to what it would probably be to go to Germany, which is probably like $800 around that time, because Oktoberfest is such a big event that people will travel for. And so I'm like, maybe I'll just hold off on that. Maybe I'll go another time, or I can still do it and I can just take a train or take a flight. It'll probably be $100 flight to fly from Amsterdam to Munich, which wouldn't be, that bad to me. But it's just something to think about, because I already have so much other things I got to think about and that I'm in charge of and responsible for. But I'm also thinking about things that I don't really need that I really want, but I've gotten really good at being responsible with my money and not just buying useless things. And so I'm excited. I'm excited for what is to come and what I'm doing. But I know that I'm going to have to think about my future in the next month or so, how it's going to look, and then in the next 6 months, how it's going to look. And I do believe this. It's not even an if statement. I believe that everything's going to work out for me and I'll have these opportunities. It's probably going to take a lot of work and I'm going to have to put in a lot of effort and intention, but I'm cool with that. It's not going to impact my abilities. I'm just going to have to be responsible and think about the things that I really want and the things that matter to me. And I think that's what I've really learned over the course of the past year and a half, is like what's important to me, what's really worth my time, what is it that I really want to do with my time, and is that going to go over the other things that I want or, desire. But I've always felt, spending your money on things to experience, like spending your money on experiences rather than materialistic things. I've gotten a lot better at that. Don't get me wrong. I do like to play video games, and I'm a huge video game nerd, and I like to stream too. And so there's video games that came out that are very nostalgic to me that I really want to play again because they're from my childhood, and because now backwards compatibility is a thing for me now. It's something that I really want to do. It's something that I want to experience. So maybe I'll plug up the PlayStation finally again, and I'll just get to playing. Because some of these games are only $5. I paid $10 for 2 games that are from PS2 era and stuff like that. That would be so badass. And then The Bear comes out later this weekend. Season 3 of The Bear comes out, and I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited. It's going to give me so much inspiration for what I can cook. And then Jeremy Allen White is fantastic in that show, and I'm really excited to see how it works out with him and Claire in it. But there's a lot to look forward to. I am a bit nervous about my scar tissue and this pain, but I gotta just trust that I'm healing and that everything is working out exactly the way it's supposed to. I am aligned and I'm not afraid. But you gotta take it one step at a time, and you can't force it all. You just can't, and we gotta flow with it. We gotta, I made a cool little TikTok not too long ago, and maturing is realizing that you can't control everything in life. So you just got to ride with life and just enjoy it and as much as you can, and, work towards making your dreams come true. And that's something I pray about and pray for all the time. I'm always asking God to please guide me towards achieving my goals and turning my dreams into my reality. Help me to achieve the things that I desire in my life. One day I may actually be on a movie screen and people might actually be able to go to a theater near them and see my face, or they'll be able to stream my face on TV. That'd be really dope. And maybe one day when I have the time, I can learn more about music and actually learn piano like I want. I could learn piano right now. That'd be a good use of my time too. Because then by the time I get back to Florida, I could damn near go inside of a random airport or mall and sit down and play the piano. And people would be like, yo, that's crazy. And I'd be like, yeah, I know. But, yeah, dude, really aligning with my hobbies, trying to break through these human desires that I have, and trying to put trying to gain clarity as much as possible and hold on to that clarity so that I'm not falling into temptations or falling into the desire that holds me back and that just distracts me, because I feel like that is where my blocks can lie, is in distractions. And if I'm only holding on to distractions, that's only going to keep me from achieving the things that I want to achieve. So I'm trying to let go of the distractions. I'm trying to let go of the things that aren't really right for me. And I'm trying to listen to the messages from God so that I'm not just continuing to make the same mistakes twice, because we all here know I don't like making the same mistakes twice. And if I can learn it once and I can change my ways, I'd rather do that rather than having to go back and repeat myself. But I do recognize that sometimes we have to learn things more than once to figure them out and to not make those same decisions again. So if that's the case, if that's what has to happen, I'm cool with that. But it's a beautiful day. I hope everyone is getting outside and chilling by the water. If you like the water, if you're on a hike, I hope you are listening to my voice while you're hiking. And I really would like it if you guys would share the podcast with your friends. Share the podcast to people that you think it would align with. So please, 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 please. And I think that we have the means to achieve the things that we want to achieve. I believe in you, and I appreciate it if you believe in me. But yeah. Today, going to rest and give myself the space that I need, and I hope the same for you guys. I hope you can put yourself first today, and I hope that you can put your health first. I hope you're eating well. I hope you're drinking enough water, and yeah. I had to take a moment. I had to go and do my stretches. But yeah, the more I stretch, the more I feel better, for sure. And if I stay on top of it, I know that I'm going to be okay. I want to turn this up a little bit. Okay, yeah, you guys can definitely hear me more. That's what I want. But yeah, do your stretches. If you don't stretch and you've been through a major accident or something, definitely do it. I feel like this is what most of today's episode is going to be about, because I know that I don't do it enough. And there was a time where I was doing yoga a lot and I was really putting in the intention to do it more. And now I'm just noticing how important it is to put time into doing your stretches, not only just working out. And, I have a hard time balancing that out sometimes, which will really affect how my body comes back together. And my doctor literally had to tell me, don't work out for a while, take a few weeks off, don't do anything that's going to, because what happens is when you work out, your muscles, they don't stretch, they shrink. And that is the opposite of what I need right now. I need to stretch it out. I need to lengthen my muscle. And the more I do these stretches, I know there's going to be more relief, and that's what I'm looking forward to. And yeah, but eating well too. I know that your body will tense up on the certain foods you eat, or how you're sitting, or how you're really treating your body. And that is how your body will hold certain tension. And I know when you really eat healthier, your body won't be as more tense up. It won't tense up as much. And then if you imagine that with yoga or stretches, and then if you're getting up more and you're keeping your body fluid, drinking water, I just, it heals better. And that's what I know that I need to do right now. I need to make sure that I am drinking enough water, eating more, foods that are going to heighten that ability to heal. And I think just overall eating healthy, is just going to be better for my body rather than eating more like processed foods and stuff like that. But I will not stop having my matcha. I've been really enjoying matcha lately. Matcha's been really nice to start the mornings. And then, take me back to being in Italy, having a cappuccino and having a dessert or pastry as my breakfast. It just keeps me in that energy. I like that. But yeah, it's been really cool. I believe we got some games coming up soon, and we got some big things that are happening besides the bear. I know that there are some really nice albums coming out. Oh, that's another thing. Still Woozy, one of my favorite artists that I really enjoy listening to right now. I bought his new record that's coming out soon, like in the next week or so, and it's a vinyl, and it's his limited edition vinyl, and I'm so excited. It's this beautiful pink purplish color. Very excited to listen to that on vinyl. And then I also got a ticket to go to one of his concerts in Florida, and I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm a huge fan of Still Woozy, and to be able to go and see him live, it's going to be my first ever concert, dude. I have never seen a concert before. I mean, I have been to one, but I don't really count it because it wasn't like it. Maybe I do count it, but it was long ago. I was there I was there in LA, and I got to see one of my friends show their music and perform. That was really cool. Great dancer. And now I get to see Still Woozy. This is like my second major artist, or you know what I mean? So like, I'm very excited for it. I'm very much looking forward to it. I get to go and meet a friend that I haven't met in person yet, and that I have been looking forward to meeting for a long time, and I get to do that too. So, I'm excited. There's a lot to be looking forward to, and even though things can seem like they're crashing down, I know they're not, and I know that everything's going to be okay. I'm very hungry. I know usually when I do the podcast, I should eat before I do the podcast, but I swear to God, dude, you know what I would really like to have right now? Wings. I want some chicken wings, and I want a basket of French fries, and I want fried pickles with some ranch. Oh my gosh, and have blue cheese with my wings. Oh, good God, man, I would lose it right now. But yeah. I'm just very much looking forward to what's coming, man. Even though that there's things happening inside my body, and there's things happening with my body right now, it's not going to hold me back from enjoying myself or doing things that I really want to do. And I'm just going to keep having fun with it as much as I can. And things don't always go to plan, or things don't always happen the way that you think they're going to go or how you may want them to go, but that shouldn't stop us from enjoying ourselves and trying anyway. And though things may be hard, we have to make the best of them out of the way. But yeah, dude. I hope everyone's doing all right, and I hope that whatever you got going on, that you're making it through too. And I want you to know you're not alone. But yeah, I think this is a good time. So I hope you all have a wonderful morning, a wonderful afternoon, a wonderful evening, and a wonderful night. Peace.